how to prepare for Go Fest. I'm Alex Gamekye Chicle, and welcome to Pokemon Go Ahead.
Yes, let's go! Shiny Weasel! Oh my god! Yes! Oh my god!
Ladies and gentlemen, we have at least 4 to 5 days left until Go Fest. It is coming super quickly, and everybody should be ready before this amazing global event. But before we go over all the details and tips on how to be ready for Go Fest this year, we have a couple of reminders and announcements for today's episode. So first off, we have a couple of reminders. This is the last day of the Alola to the Alola event. As if everyone cares. I mean, we just pretty much did like half of a day of it and we just called it. Tomorrow is going to be the season of Go. It's going to start at 10 a.m. on June 1st. Also, Kyogre is going to be in legendary raids. So if you guys need that shiny Kyogre, or you need a good Hundo or an IV, or you just need extra XL candy, you better want to go after this because it's been over a year since we've had Kyogre in raids. And then we have a couple of announcements. The first thing is that we are going to be meeting up in Reno on Saturday, June 4th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. around San Rafael, El Rancho, and Idlewild Park. So if you guys are planning on playing Pokemon Go globally in Reno, Chris and I are going to be heading over there. Hopefully we get to see you there for Axia raids, shiny hunting, and just meeting up because it's been over a year since we've been in Reno for Pokemon Go, so hope to see you guys there. The following day, June 5th, we are not going to do a vlog, and we're not going to be playing Pokemon Go Fest as much, considering that I have plans outside of Pokemon Go. I have a bachelor's party to go to in Lake Tahoe, so unfortunately, I'm not going to make a vlog, but I will do a couple screen recordings in between if I do get shinies or anything rare. Pokemon Presents is going to present a trailer for the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games, and we could also assume that they're gonna give us some Pokemon Go details, Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Unite, maybe updates for Legends Arceus, and maybe Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. We don't know exactly all the stuff, except that Scarlet and Violet is gonna have a trailer drop on Pokemon Presents on the Pokemon YouTube channel. So it's gonna happen tomorrow, June 1st at 6 a.m. Pacific time. We're gonna be up super early. We're gonna react to the trailer. We're assuming it's about 10 to 15 minutes long. I don't know what's gonna happen, but hopefully we get some brand new stuff with Pokemon Go. Maybe Nihiligo, I don't know. And then finally, be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you can get more content from this channel, because tomorrow we're posting a video of the Pokemon Presents reaction. I'm not gonna go live because I don't have anything for live streaming. So be sure to check out the video for details and stuff. Now with that being said, guys, we have a lot of tips to talk about in today's episode. We pretty much have 5 major tips, and then we're gonna go over some of the spawns throughout the weekend that you guys should be going after. My first tip for the Go Fest prep is making sure you have a good amount of certain items for this event. I would recommend you guys have 100 Hyper Potions and 100 Revives. Nothing more and nothing less. The reason is there's a lot of raid bosses happening during the weekend with Kyogre, Groudon, and they said something about a new tier 5, which we're going to assume is Nihiligo, or maybe it could be completely something new. We don't know what it's gonna be. So we gotta make sure we have some items for that. Axio's in raids, but it's a tier 1. Honestly, you don't really need to have a Hyper Potion after battling an Axew with 20 people in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's mainly for like the tier 3, tier 5 raid bosses, which honestly, don't do the tier 3. Don't do tier 3. Next up, have Lucky Eggs if you guys need XP. Have a bunch of star pieces so you guys can get some Stardust. And make sure you guys have Incense. I know that some people are kind of on and off with Incense, but there are some unknown in Incense, there are some regionals in Incense, and there are some rare Pokemon that can be shiny from Incense. So I would recommend having some Incense. You don't have to drop all of them at once, just only drop it when you're actually going to be walking. So if there's like a certain period of time that you're not going to be playing, don't drop an Incense. But if you're going to be out walking a lot, drop an Incense. Definitely raid passes. We are going to get 9 free raid passes from spinning, stops, and gyms. But make sure you have remote raid passes just in case, and make sure you have enough regular premier raid passes. I have like 42, and I need to burn those up ASAP. I would recommend having at least 500 of each Pokeball. I know some people are saying 1,000, but I would personally keep it down just so you have enough extra space in your storage. I would have, like, it would be okay to have like probably 800 to 1,000 Pokeballs, especially if you're going to use a Go Plus or an auto catcher like myself. Like, I'm gonna spin stops to get more Pokeballs, but I'm also gonna make sure I have 500 exact Great Balls and maybe just a couple more Ultra Balls, because with Ultra Balls you can catch rare stuff. Pokeballs you really don't have to worry about unless you have this bad boy or any other auto catcher, but I would also recommend Great Balls, because then you are catching things no problem without wasting a very valuable Ultra Ball for a super rare, difficult Pokemon to catch. When it comes to berries, I would say make sure you have 100 Pineapple Berries and 100-ish Goldenraz, because Goldenraz is going to help with those rare catches, and especially with Axew in this event, in the wild and in Incense, and after an encounter in a raid, you're going to need as much candy as possible. You can also get some candy from other Pokemon such as Wailmer, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but definitely have those berries. I would transfer into Nat Berries and regular Raz. It's okay to have Silver Pineapples, but you want to have enough berries for the entire day or weekend. And finally, I put down incubators. If you're going to be walking around, you might as well incubate some eggs. The second tip is pretty much storage management. When it comes to your item storage and your Pokemon storage, you want to make sure that you have enough space so when you're spinning stops, you're winning raids, and you get those rewards, you open gifts, you do those special research, and you claim rewards, you want to make sure you have enough space in your items. And then the same thing with Pokemon. There's going to be a lot of Pokemon out there, so you want to make sure you have enough space for those extra Pokemon. So I would personally transfer any extra Pokemon, especially if they're like 0, 1, 2 tiers. If there's like a high IV or a hundo, I would definitely favor that and save it. And then I would mass transfer everything. If you have a bunch of legendaries, honestly at this point, you guys should probably do mass transfer for like the 2 stars. If you have a hundo or a shiny, obviously you should keep those. But just make sure if you have extra Pokemon that you're not in love with, transfer them now. And make sure you have at least 800 to 1,000 space extra for this occasion. The third tip is Mega Evolution. Now, especially since we have a brand new Mega update, we have a lot of things happening, especially with some bonuses with XL Candy and Candy, you know, like all that kind of stuff. There's going to be a lot of different types of Pokemon spawning, and some of you guys are probably going to want to Mega Evolve something. So I would recommend Mega Evolving Mega Slowbro or Mega Abomasnow. And here's why. The majority of Pokemon that are going to be spawning throughout the entire weekend for GoFest are going to be water types and psychic types, as well as ice types and grass types. So there's a lot of those types of Pokemon overall. And I would say if you're going to Mega Evolve Abomasnow, you could definitely use Mega Abomasnow if you're going to raid for Kyogre or Groudon, since both water and ground are very weak against grass. And then if you're going to have Axew, not that you need Mega Abomasnow, but it is also an ice type and it can help boost other ice types. Having those Pokemon to help give you those XL, to get you to level 40 and 50 for those Pokemon, that's going to be very important. Tip number 4, in real life items that you're going to bring if you're going to be out for Pokemon Go Fest. I have made a couple of these videos when I've been doing Global Fest with Chris, but I'm going to make another one just to kind of update a little bit. The first thing that you're obviously going to need is water, Gatorade, anything to keep you hydrated, or anything with electrolytes, snacks. You gotta make sure that you stay, you know, healthy, and you wanna make sure that you're not starving throughout this event. Because if you spend all day without eating, you're not gonna have a good experience. Pack some bars, pack some carrots, pack some fruit, pack like anything that you could just nibble on throughout the day, because you want to make sure you have nutrition and eat a little bit in between GoFest. It's okay to take a break. You just have to make sure that you're hydrated and that you're well fed. If you want to get lunch, you can get lunch. We might get lunch. I don't know. We may not. I'll just pack snacks either way. Sunscreen. You're going to be out in the sun all day. You don't want to get those tan lines or sunburns. You know what I'm saying? Bug spray. Speaking of which, these bugs are bothering me, yo. I hate mosquitoes. It's that time of year, man. And then have a hat. But like, you know, just for the sun, you can wear sunglasses. Depending on the weather, wear a jacket if it's windy, get some hand warmers or gloves, or make sure you have an umbrella if it rains. You know, you want to stay warm, you want to stay cool, you want to make sure that you have to stay dry when it's raining outside. Just make sure you check your local weather app to check to make sure what your weather is going to be like during GoFest, and then pack up the appropriate things so that you're weather ready for GoFest. You don't really need to carry too much stuff, so make sure you have like a fanny pack or a small bag to carry around, because if you have like a hiker bag and you're carrying too much stuff, it's gonna hurt your back and you're not gonna have a great experience when you're playing GoFest. Battery packs. This is very important. Make sure that the night before you do GoFest, you charge up all your battery packs 100% before you head out the house for GoFest. You do not want to play on an empty battery, and you're not going to have a fun experience because you won't be on your phone. This one is also pretty obvious. You got to have your phone because you got to have something to play Pokemon Go with. Otherwise, you're going to look like an idiot if you like don't have your phone. I think that's an obvious one. I've mentioned this before, but I will say it again. Go Plus or Go Catchers or Auto Catchers of any sort. I'm sticking to the old-fashioned one. I would definitely recommend, if you're gonna use these, switch out the battery the night before so it's fully 100%, and then that way you can be able to catch things without any difficulty. And finally, for myself, I have a camera and a tripod, but make sure if you're gonna vlog or make some videos, you wanna make sure your camera is charged up and you have all your accessories like your microphones, well, I don't know if you guys need lights, but have your tripod or stands or sticks to use to hold your camera or anything that helps you stream or record vlogs. The obvious stuff. And the fifth, and probably one of the most important things for any preparation for GoFest, is figuring out where you're gonna play and who you're gonna play with. This is very important because the location you're gonna be for anywhere globally will have an effect on your GoFest experience. It is important that you go somewhere where there's a lot of spawns, where there's a lot of Pokestops, where there's a lot of raid bosses, and most importantly, where the rest of the community is gonna be. Because you don't wanna play by yourself. If you want to play by yourself and you wanna keep your distance to not get COVID, that's one thing. But if you wanna gather around and you guys are tested negative and you're being safe and you're being healthy, then yes, you should definitely do a gathering and communicate with your chat groups on Discord, Facebook, the WhatsApp, whatever you use to communicate with your groups. I communicated with the Reno groups, and some are gonna be in Idlewild and San Rafael. So Chris and I are gonna go back and forth with the people in San Rafael and Idlewild. So if you guys are planning on being in Reno, that'd be great. But if you're not gonna be in Reno, make sure you communicate with your community groups for Pokemon Go and discuss on like, hey, where should go for raids? Where should we shiny hunt? Like, where should we meet up for lunch? Like, where there's Pokestops, you know? Like, have a plan. You guys have all week until June 4th to get together for GoFest. I think that's very important. Now that you know how to prepare for GoFest, let's talk about when you're playing GoFest. Mainly when you're going to play the rotating habitat hours on Saturday. Which Pokemon should you go after during this weekend phenomenon? This is very important. We have 4 different habitats: the city habitat, the plains habitat, the rainforest habitat, and the tundra habitat. We also have to consider raid bosses. We also have to consider things from the Incense, and then of course the obvious, which is from like research and stuff. So let's start off with the city habitat. I'll be posting a picture on the screen of the Pokemon from each of the spawns. Starting off with the city habitats. For the city habitat, there's Magnemite, which is not only a rare shiny, but if you evolve it into Magnezone, it could be pretty good in PvP, mainly in the Great League and potentially Ultra League. Next up, we have a Alolan Grimer. Same thing with Magnemite. It is a rare shiny, and it hardly ever spawns in the wild, so it's gonna be very common. So again, also can be useful in PvP. It's probably one of the best dark poison types out there if it's a Alolan Muck. Another one would be Hitmonchan. It was released last year during Kanto Tour as a shiny. So if you didn't get shiny Hitmonchan last year, you could definitely redeem yourself during the city habitat hour. Next up, we have Burmy Trash form. This is the only Burmy form out of the 3 that will be spawning during GoFest. If you get a shiny, this could be really good for your trading because some people need all three forms of Burmy and Wormadam and all that stuff. So if you have a shiny Transform of Burmy, you're gonna be lucky when it comes to trades. Trubbish. Trubbish is not only shiny, but it will reward you a lot of Stardust. With 750 Stardust, at that star piece, you're gonna have more Stardust, like probably about, I wanna say 900-ish, maybe 850. Next up is Golett. It is not shiny, but it is a rare Pokemon, and Golurk is actually a pretty cool ghost and ground type, and it could be pretty decent in the PvP. I mean, I can't wait for October, hopefully when they drop that shiny, because it looks clean. Now, these last two are gonna be very, 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 very important, because they're usually exclusive in raids and eggs. Galarian Weezing is a big one because it is going to be a rare spawn and an incense spawn during the city habitat hour. Normally it's in tier 3 raids. It is a rare shiny. We got ours during Ultra Unlock last year, but if you did not, this is a really good chance to go after Galarian Weezing. And then Clink, for the first time ever, will be spawning in the wild. It was normally in tier 1 raids and in eggs, so I would obviously say go after Clink and go after Galarian Weezing. The next one is going to be the Plains Habitat Hour. This is going to have a lot of new shinies and a lot of rare shinies as well. Starting off with Girafarig, this one is super rare. We got ours during the Johto Tour, which I was so lucky, but if you didn't get shiny Girafarig during Johto Tour, this Go Fest will be your redemption for shiny Girafarig. Then we have Dunsparce, which is also a rare shiny. It also has not been spawning recently, but you can be able to try to get a shiny Dunsparce. We got ours when it came out in 2020 during the Throwback Johto event. So it's been a long time. It would be great to go for another one. Larvitar is a good one, not only for PvP and raids when he evolves into Tyranitar, but also consider the fact that if you catch a lot of Larvitar, you get the XL candy and a lot of candy, so you can get it to level 50, and when Mega Tyranitar comes out, you guys are ready. Numel, not only this is a new shiny, but it is also going to potentially Mega Evolve into Mega Camerupt after you evolve your Numel into a Camerupt. I can't wait for shiny Camerupt, guys. It is super cool looking, so hopefully we get shiny Numel during this event. Trapinch, that's kind of decent, but Flygon's a cool Pokemon. Weasel is a rare shiny. Drillbur is not shiny, but it's pretty good in PvP, and it's one of the top ground and steel type attackers, especially in the Master League and in raids. Shelmet is going to be a new shiny during the Plains Habitat. I love shiny Aselgor. It looks awesome with the yellow, so I cannot wait to get Shelmet. Rufflet is a rare spawn, so it's really cool to see it being common. We got ourselves 2 shiny Rufflets. I love to get myself another one just so I can have a spare. So whenever Hisuian Braviary comes out, we can evolve it into a shiny. Litleo is also a shiny, but the shiny male is way more rare than the female. Then we have Axew, which is a rare spawn and will also be an Incense. I mean, this is the one that everyone wants during Go Fest. And finally, Torkoal is a regional exclusively in India, and this will be the first time that Torkoal will be out during Go Fest. Next up are some Pokemon from the Rainforest Habitat. I would say Mudkip, just because Mega Swampert is supposed to be a beast. Especially this Mega only being weak to grass and having higher stats than Mega Blastoise. Swampert is gonna be dope. And if you want to get that level 50 Swampert and a lot of candy, this is the weekend to do it. Also, we had a Mudkip Community Day Classic, so if you still need some more, this would be a really good time. Then we got Shroomish and Carablast, both of those being brand new shinies. We also have Binacle, which was recently new as a shiny during the Water Festival event. We unfortunately did not get shiny Binacle, so for me, this is gonna be a redemption shiny during Rainforest Hour. So there's 3 shinies that I'm actually gonna go after in the Rainforest Hour, so hopefully you guys wish me luck on that shiny Binacle. Then we have Pancham, and this is really cool because it was exclusive in 12-kilometer eggs. But so this will be the first time that Pancham will be in the wild. And note that it will be spawning in Incense. It's not shiny, but it's a really cool Pokemon. Look how cute Pancham is. And then finally Tropius, which is an exclusive around, what is it, Africa? That is where Tropius usually is. This will be the first time that Tropius will be spawning globally during the Go Fest event. So if you get a Tropius, that'd be great. Sadly, it can't be shiny, but it's a regional for your Pokedex. And finally, we have the Tundra Habitat Hour. The Tundra Habitat Hour, I would definitely recommend going after Almanite. We have a bunch of shiny Almanite in the past, and I traded like 5 out of 6 because I get lucky with Almanite. So I would be not surprised if I get another shiny Almanite during Tundra Hour. It is a rare shiny, so I would recommend shiny hunting for that. We also have Metatite. I have so many shiny Metatite, especially 2 from like 2 years ago and 1 from last year. But it can Mega Evolve into Mega Metachamp, and it's pretty good in the Great Battle League. Wailmer, I know there's nothing too special about it. If you need the shiny, you can go ahead and go after it. But I'm mentioning Wailmer because it is the only Pokemon in GoFest thus far that evolves into a Pokemon with 400 candy. So if for some reason you guys didn't play the Water Festival and you need that 400 candy, this would be a good time to go after Wailmer. And that's why you should have those pine nut berries, because that gives you extra candy. Spheal had a community day back in January, but if you need a really good Spheal to evolve into Walrein, it could be pretty good in the Great Battle League, especially with the new move Icicle Spear. Walrein is like in the number 8 spot for Great Leagues. And finally, Galarian Darumaka. This is a rare spawn, and it's also going to be the Incense. It is a good shiny. It was released back in December. I got myself like 1 or 2, and I don't mind going for another one. Now, numero 5, we're talking about the raids. Now, there are raid bosses in both Saturday and Sunday. So let's talk about the ones that are going to be on Saturday. Mainly the ones that are going to be on both days. So on Saturday, we're going to have Axew, Pikachu with the Gracidia flower, Kyogre and Groudon, and for some reason, the middle stage evolutions of the Alola starters. Guys, don't do those 3 raids. That's a waste. Don't do them. If you guys are going to go after Kyogre and Groudon, do note that if you don't get a shiny or enough candy, Kyogre will still be in raids until the 7th, and the following week, Groudon will be in raids. So you're not going to miss too much. And I also wouldn't recommend going to focus on the raids too much, but if you are going to raid, make sure that you guys do have a group of people for these raids, and do note that Kyogre and Groudon in the future can do a thing called Primal Reversion. I don't know why it's so different from Mega Evolution. Don't ask me about it because I don't know too much about Primal Reversion, but the Primal Reversions are what they have. It's pretty cool. We don't know if they're going to be out yet, but if you're going to raid for those during GoFest, it's pretty important that you guys have your teams ready. And then, of course, obviously, Axew. I mean, who is not going to raid for Axew? For Sunday, there's going to be 3 raid bosses that are going to be very important. Of course, you can raid for Salamence if you need a really good Salamence when it evolves into Mega Salamence in the future, but I wouldn't bother going after that raid boss, especially since there are some other raid bosses with shiny potentials such as Snorlax, Druddigon, and Rockruff. I need one more shiny Rockruff, and I guess I could do a Snorlax and a Druddigon, but honestly, whatever you want to raid, it's up to you. Please do not invite me to a Torracat or Draxix or what is it called, Dartrix? Yeah, don't invite me to those. The Incense. We talk a lot about some of the Incense spawns depending on which habitat hour you're playing, but the biggest one is Unknown. Now, don't be surprised if you don't get shiny Unknown during this weekend, because honestly, not a lot of people got it during last year, and some events like the Johto Tour and some of those like sponsored events, not a lot of people got those shinies. So do not give yourself too high hopes on the new shinies. But if we did get a shiny Unknown, hopefully it's B. Since I already got the other 3, it'd be nice to get the shiny Unknown B. We talked about Galarian Weezing, we talked about Clink, we talked about Axew, we talked about Torkoal and Pancham, we talked about Tropius, we talked about Galarian Darumaka because of the shiny rarity and the regionals, and some of them just being exclusive in the wild. But there's another one from the Incense that we haven't talked about yet. It's in the Tundra Habitat, and that is Galarian Mr. Mime. This is going to be the first time that Galarian Mr. Mime will be out all the time. And last but not least, we heard about a new raid boss in the Tier 5 sometime this weekend that's going to be exclusive. We're going to assume it's Nihiligo. We could get something else like Zygarde or Eternus or, whoa, Arceus. That would be crazy. But if we don't get Arceus, I mean, who's going to be surprised? And then also for the special research, Shaman. That's pretty much it. And that is it for today's video, guys. I know that was a stupid long video, but overall, make sure you guys have everything packed up the night before. Make sure you get that storage management in your apps, and make sure that you guys have everything planned out, and make sure that you guys get a good night's sleep before this major event happens. And make sure that if you didn't buy the ticket yet, it is $14.99 in the shop. So be sure to get your ticket before GoFest. Again, it is $14.99 US dollars. You have to buy it before GoFest. Do not sleep on it. Do not procrastinate. Make sure you get your ticket now, and do not miss on an amazing experience. We are going to go to Reno and vlog on the first day. And like I said earlier, we're not going to vlog or play as much on Sunday since I have a conflict with a bachelor's party. Let me know in the comments below if I forgot anything when it comes to preparation for GoFest. And with that being said, guys, I will see you in another video. Peace out.